movement of the arm. Then we went on to look at that. Those joints we finished. Joints we are done. Muscles and movements. Bending and straightening of the arm. So, and that is locomotion in man. Do we have locomotion in asthma? Did we talk about the types of skeletons? Exo, endo, hydro.
Yes.
So, am I on? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to look at the locomotion in an earthworm. Locomotion in an earthworm. So, morning, everyone. I hope you're all well, wherever you are. We just pray that you're observing the SOPs and following the guidelines of avoiding contracting the corona disease. Now today, it has been quite long, almost coming to 2 weeks since we last met. So today we're going to continue with our discussion of locomotion in animals. Remember, we ended with locomotion in man, where we looked at locomotion involving straightening the hands, that is, flexing and extending the hand. So for that part of locomotion, we looked at the effect of the muscles and the bones on which the muscles are attached. So today, we're going to look at locomotion in another organism, and I want us to look at locomotion in another one. Locomotion in a earthworm. Locomotion in earthworm. Locomotion in an earthworm. Locomotion in an earthworm. An earthworm, remember, lives in soil, and it's a soft-bodied organism. It doesn't have well-developed limbs like the way we have the hands and the legs, but the earthworm is able to propel, to push its body forward. So, like any other organism, an earthworm is able to carry out locomotion. Remember, an earthworm has a hydrostatic skeleton. It has a hydrostatic skeleton. It has a hydrostatic skeleton. Just remind ourselves of what a hydrostatic skeleton is. We said this is a rigid skeleton. It's a rigid skeleton. Rigid skeleton. Right? Composed of a fluid. Composed of a fluid on which muscles are attached. So for the case of the earthworm, an earthworm has two sets of muscles. One, the circular muscles. It has the circular muscles. These ones form a ring. You can call them ringed muscles. They are ringed muscles. And the other set of muscle is known as the longitudinal muscles. Longitudinal muscles. These ones arise from the circular muscles and attach onto the rigid fluid. Okay, so the earthworm, if you look at it, it has a hydrostatic skeleton. I've said it has a soft body. It is a soft-bodied organism. The body is segmented. the body of the earthworm is segmented, right? It has a segmented body. Then the other interesting features about locomotion in an earthworm, it has protrusions. It has protrusions. Each segment, each part of the segment has protrusions known as kite. These ones protrude out of each segment. The kite, these ones aid in gripping. They aid in gripping firmly. Gripping firmly onto surfaces on which the earthworm is moving. Right? So those are important features to take note of. Note the type of skeleton of an earthworm. We are saying it is made up of a hydrostatic skeleton, which is rigid enough to provide firm support. It is made of fluid, which fluid is rigid, and the fluid provides the surface for attachment of the muscles. There are two sets of muscles in the earthworm. One, circular muscles, and the longitudinal muscles, right? Then we have also said the body of an earthworm is segmented, right? Segmented, then it has protrusions, right? So this can give us a basis for discussing how the body of an earthworm is able to move from one place to another. Okay. So if you look at the drawing, yeah. So if you look at the body structure of the earthworm, the outer part of the body is composed of ringed muscles. Those ones form the circular muscles. In the middle of the earthworm is where you have the gut. You have the gut in the center. Then from the middle outwards to the ringed muscles, you have the longitudinal muscles. So those are the two sets of muscles we are talking about. The outer muscles, which are ringed, and we are referring to them as circular muscles. The circular muscle. Then these ones that attach on circular muscles to the center or to the middle, known as longitudinal muscles. The longitudinal muscle. All are resting and supported onto a fluid medium, a rigid fluid medium, right? So in the center you have the gut, right? The gut, then the fluid. The center forms a containing rigid fluid on which the muscles are attached. Then we have also said the body of an earthworm is segmented. It has segments. It is segmented. So those are important features. Now, since it's made up of two separate muscles, one, the circular muscle, and two, the longitudinal muscles. The circular muscle and longitudinal muscles are antagonistic. They are antagonistic muscles. They are antagonistic muscles. Meaning what? Remember we said antagonistic muscles are the type of muscles which bring about opposing effects to one another. These ones bring about opposing effects to one another. Opposing effects to one another. Meaning, as one muscle, for example, if the circular muscles contract, the longitudinal muscles will be relaxing. So the way they work or the way the two muscles operate is antagonistic, is described as being antagonistic, bringing about opposing effects to one another. Okay. Now, locomotion in an earthworm is brought about by a set of those two muscles we have said, which work antagonistically. Now, I want us to move straight to how the body is moved, how the body of an earthworm is moved. Right? When the body is to be moved, circular muscles contract. Circular muscles contract. The circular muscles contract. The longitudinal muscles relax. Longitudinal muscles relax. Longitudinal muscles relax. Longitudinal muscles relax. The longitudinal muscle relax. Then, as the longitudinal muscles relax, the circular muscles compress the segments. So relaxation, or you can say contraction of circular muscles, compresses. It compresses the body segments. It compresses the body segments. It compresses the body segments. So as circular muscles contract, the body segments become compressed. This causes part of the body to extend forward. This causes part of the body to extend forward. Part of the body to extend forward. It causes part of the body to extend forward. So as circular muscles contract, body segments are compressed. Compression, you would say, the body segments move close to each other, right? So as they move close to each other, the body changes position. The body is moved from one point to another. Then, the chitae, this part of the body, are retracted. He says it has chitae. The chitae at this part of the body, the chitae at this part of the body are retracted. They are retracted. They are moved inside, right? They are moved inside. Then when longitudinal muscles contract, that is one phase. We have said the first phase, circular muscles contract. Longitudinal muscles relax. So the contraction of the circular muscles compress body segments. They move close to each other, causing part of the body to be extended forward. As that is happening, the chitae from that point or that part of the body become retracted. They are moved back inside the segment. That is the first step. as the body of an earthworm is to be moved forward. So the reverse, we are looking at the reverse. How is it, or what happens when on the other hand, when the circular muscles relax, what happens? So on the other hand, when the longitudinal muscles contract, when the longitudinal muscles contract, the circular muscles relax. The circular muscles relax. Remember, we said that kind of action of the muscles is what we described as being antagonistic. This shortens and thickens the segments. This shortens and thickens. It shortens and thickens the segments. It shortens and thickens the segments. The chitae from the segments at this point protrude. The chitae at this point of the segment, become protruded. They come out of the segment, become protruded. They protrude. They become protruded. Remember, we said when they protrude, when they come out of the segment, they form a grip, right? They aid gripping of the animal family onto the surface. So they protrude and enable the body, to grip, or you can say anchor, firmly, onto the surface. Members, I want you to take notes of how an earthworm achieves locomotion. An earthworm achieving locomotion. The role of the muscles. Is very important. It is a key in locomotion of an earthworm. Then, the role of the segments. The appearance of the segments. Then, the chitae, the protrusion, the retraction of the chitae. Right? Those are very, very important aspects about locomotion in an earthworm. The two sets of muscles, circular muscles and longitudinal muscles, right? Those two muscles operate antagonistically, as one is relaxing, the other contracts. So we said in the first place, as circular muscles contract, longitudinal muscles relax. What is the effect of that? What is the effect of the muscles behaving oppositely like that? Contraction of circular muscles compresses the body segments, causing part of the body to extend forward. Chitae at this point of the body are retracted, moved inside, right? Moved inside, retracted, meaning moved back inside the body. So in that way, the body is moved forward. Then on the other hand, we have said when the longitudinal muscles contract, circular muscles relax. What is the effect of that? The body becomes shorter. It results into shortening and thickening of the segments. As that is happening, the kete at that point of the segment become protruded. They come out of the segments, so far forming a grip. They allow the animal to grip or anchor firmly, right, onto the surface. So basically, that is how locomotion in an earthworm is achieved. So the process of the changes, the alteration in muscle activity is altered time and again, right? So you can say this is repeated along the body of the worm. This process is repeated. The process is repeated. The process is repeated along the body of the worm, along the body of the worm, along the body of the worm. It is repeated along the body of the worm, and it results in progressive forward movement and results in progressive. It results into progressive forward movement. Results in progressive forward movement. So that is locomotion in earthworm. I want us to look at another organism. Any questions?
If somebody has a question, he enters into the discussion room.
Any questions so far?
You come into the discussion room and ask the question.
Come into the discussion room, then you ask questions. Are there questions? I'm waiting to receive some questions so far about our discussion of today, locomotion in an earthworm. How an earthworm moves.
They should come into the discussion room. I'm seeing, okay, they have come. Any question? Yes? Bro, Boembo, do you have a question to the teacher? Boembo? Boembo? Boembo, unmute.
You are missing notes on earthworm? Wembo. Are you missing notes on earthworm? Locomotion in earthworm? Are you able to see what I've written on board? Are you able to read what is on board? Okay. If you're able to read what is on board, so yes, we began from a point. Wembo, ask. The notes are missing. The notes on the earthworm are missing. You're just missing the notes. So I'm suggesting, can we use the notes that I've given on the board? They are very good notes. They have summarized. Yes. These ones can do for us well.
And you want to say it again, because most of us are studying.
Sebuyondo. Sebuyondo have just joined.
Continue.
Okay, please. The notes that I've given on board are good enough. They are good enough. They can guide us as far as locomotion in earthworms is concerned. Okay. I want us to continue and look at another organism or other organisms, how they carry and achieve locomotion. Look at locomotion in insects. Locomotion in insects. I suggest members who are missing some parts of the work, you follow the notes I'm giving on the board. Please, you take notes. The most important items that could be missing in your work you have. Locomotion in insects, like any other organism, many insects carry out locomotion in different ways. Some insects have legs to walk, others have wings to fly. So they can fly, they can walk. Right? So locomotion in insects involves, so insects move by one. They can hop. Hopping. We have those insects that can hop by using legs. Hopping using legs. Then two, we have insects that have legs to walk as well. Walking. They only walk by walking. Still using legs. Still using legs. Then three, some insects have wings. So those that have wings, they can achieve their locomotion by flying. So these ones that fly, they use wings. They use wings. Please take note. Some walk, they are hopping insects. There are those that walk, only walk without flying, without hopping. Then there are those that fly. They have wings for flight. So we're going to begin with those that walk. Those that walk and those that hop. Look at the first, right? Walking. Walking in insects. Walking in insects. Now the leg of an insect is our point of interest. The leg of an insect is our point of focus and interest. Most insects have 6 legs or 3 pairs of walking legs, right? Most insects have 3 pairs. They have 3 pairs of walking legs. 3 pairs of walking legs. 3 pairs of walking legs, or you can say 60 legs. It's very important to know the features. The legs. The legs of the insects are jointed. Legs are jointed. They are jointed legs. The benefit of having jointed legs is for flexibility while in motion. For flexibility. For flexibility. For flexibility while in motion. While in motion. For flexibility while in motion. They are jointed. They have muscles, right? So besides being jointed, they have muscles. The legs have muscles. They have a set of muscles, right? The flexor muscle and the extensor muscle, i.e. flexor and extensor. Flexor and extensor. Flexor and extensor muscle. Right? Like we have been saying, those muscles work antagonistically. Flexor muscle contracts, extensor muscle relaxes, bringing about an effect in the body. Then still about the legs, features on the legs that are very, very important in locomotion, besides appearing in pairs, 3 pairs, being jointed for flexibility, can fold it to change position, then having muscles. Still on the legs, they have claws. They have claws. Those claws are important for gripping on surfaces, for gripping onto surfaces, for gripping onto surfaces, right? Then some have a rhodium. They have a rhodium, right? A rhodium still for providing or for secreting, provides a sticky substance, which aids firm grip onto surfaces. Aids firm grip onto surfaces. Take note of the features. Walking is achieved by the pairs of legs depending on the type of insect. Like I've said, most and majority of them have 3 pairs of walking legs, or you would say 60 legs. Then the legs, if you observe them, they are jointed. Being jointed is of an advantage. It's of an advantage to the insect because it is important to make the leg be flexible for flexibility. Then the muscles in the legs. Then the legs also have claws for gripping. Then it has another structure called a rhodium, which secretes a sticky substance that aids firm grip onto surfaces. Those are important features, right? In walking, as far as insects are concerned. Then how is locomotion using the legs achieved? Having known those important features, that they have legs, the legs are jointed, the legs have muscles, the legs have claws. There is a structure called a rhodium. So I want us to move on and see how locomotion using legs is achieved. Locomotion using legs is achieved in the insects. How locomotion using the legs is achieved in the insect. So, insects possess 6 legs. So insects possess 60 legs. They possess 6 legs, or three pairs. Three pairs of walking legs. Walking legs. Take note. Each leg is jointed. 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 This makes the legs flexible. This makes the legs flexible, or the leg flexible. It makes the leg flexible. It makes the leg flexible. Inside the legs, inside the legs, inside the legs, inside the legs are a set of two muscles, are a set of two muscles. Inside the legs are a set of two muscles, i.e. the flexor muscle, a set of two muscles, flexor muscle and extensor muscle, and extensor muscles, and the extensor muscles, extensor muscles, extensor muscles. These are attached onto the exoskeleton. These are attached. These are attached onto the exoskeleton. They are attached onto the exoskeleton. Remember, you said an insect has an exoskeleton. Exo meaning outside. These are attached on the exoskeleton. When the flexor muscles contract, 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 the extensor muscles relax. The extensor muscles relax. Remember, at each stage, there is an effect going to be brought about by the change of the muscles. So as that is happening, the leg bends at the joint. The leg bends. This effect brings about bending. So the leg bends at the joint. The leg bends at the joint. The leg bends at the joint. When the extensor muscle contracts, when the extensor muscle contracts, when the extensor muscle contracts, the flexor muscle relaxes. The flexor muscle relaxes. The flexor muscle relaxes. The leg straightens at the joint. 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 Okay. Right? So take note. The pairs of legs, we are talking about An insect that possesses 6 legs or 3 pairs of legs, we have said the legs are jointed. These are important points to note. That each leg is jointed, making the leg flexible. Then inside the legs, a set of 2 muscles, the flexor muscle and the extensor muscle. Remember those muscles, they are also antagonistic in their mode of action. So we have said the action of the muscles involves when flexor muscle contracts, the extensor muscle relaxes. So the effect of that is bending. The leg bends at the joint. When the reverse happens, extensor muscle contracting and flexor muscle relaxing, leg straightens at the joint. So the body is changed in terms of position. So we can take notes of a simple drawing of the leg of the insect. Simple drawing of the leg of the insect. Simple drawing of the leg of the insect. The structure of leg of an insect. This is important to know how the muscles are attached onto the exoskeleton of the insect. So our point of focus and interest lies in the attachment of these 2 muscles. One called the flexor muscle. The flexor muscle. This one brings about bending of the leg. It bends the leg at the joint. Bends the leg at the joint. Then the other muscle, on the other hand, is the extensor muscle. This one straightens the leg, straightens the leg, it straightens the leg. Then on the outside, you have the exoskeleton. Exoskeleton. Then this one, this structure or surface, you can label it as internal process. Internal process for muscle attachment. For muscle attachment. Internal process for muscle attachment. So it is important to take note of how body movement using the legs of an insect is achieved. The steps involve the effect of the muscles, changes of the two muscles that work antagonistically. It is important to mention that the leg is jointed for flexibility. Inside the legs, a set of two muscles, flexor muscle and extensor muscle. These muscles are attached onto the exoskeleton. From the drawing, what we see on the outside is the exoskeleton, onto which muscles, the extensor muscle and the flexor muscle, are attached. And the two muscles work antagonistically. The two muscles work antagonistically, bring about an effect on movements of the leg. Okay. Then I want us to also look at the pattern of movement of the three legs. Pattern of movement of the three legs. Someone may wonder, how is an insect able to move its three legs at a go? Right? There is a pattern that they follow. The three legs follow a certain pattern. The three legs follow a certain pattern. So we can also say pattern of movement of the legs. Pattern of movement of the legs of an insect. The pattern of movement of the legs of an insect. Right? Okay. Remember, it has three legs. You can look at the forelegs, the middle legs, and the hind legs. Right? The middle, the fore, the hind. Right? Now, the hind leg and foreleg on one side, and the middle leg on the other side move at once. Take note. The hind leg, and foreleg, hind leg, and foreleg on one side, and the middle leg, and the middle leg, and the middle leg, and the middle leg, and the middle leg on the other side move at once. Middle leg on the other side. On the other side, move at once. Move at once. Take note. hind leg, foreleg on one side, move at once. Middle leg on the other side is also moved along the other two legs, hind leg and foreleg on one side. I don't know how we can illustrate that. This is the body of an insect. It has, those are the legs. So we are saying this leg, the foreleg, is moved forward, and the hind leg is also moved forward. This one here remains behind. Then the middle leg here is also moved forward. These ones remain. This one also remains. I don't know whether I get to the mode of locomotion. Foreleg moved forward. Hind leg moved forward. On one side, this is one side. Call it the right side. The legs, the foreleg and the hind leg on the right side are moved forward. Meanwhile, the middle leg on that side remains firm onto the ground. It's not moved at all. The middle leg, so this one is middle leg. Middle leg also moved. Middle leg moved. On this other side, call it the left side. Left side. Meanwhile, the foreleg and hind leg on the left side remains firm onto the ground. So here the body is lifted. It is supported by the middle leg on the left side, on the right side, and supported by the fore and hind limb to be moved. These two remains firm onto the ground. So the body is lifted, right? So there is an alteration. It will alternate. As these ones land on the surface, that means now this one and this one are going to be lifted forward. This one is also going to be lifted forward. This one, this one, this one now remain behind. Are you together? Okay. So, while the other three legs support the insect's body above the ground. So as hind leg, foreleg on one side and middle leg on the other side move at once, you can add on and say the other three legs, the other three legs support, the other three legs support the insect body, support the insect body above the ground. They support the insect body above the ground. They support the insect head. They are jointed. 1. Adaptation for walking. They are jointed for flexibility. 1. They are jointed for flexibility. The legs of an insect have joints in between. So because they are jointed, they make it flexible for locomotion. So jointed for flexibility during locomotion. That is 1. Another adaptation, we say they have claws. The legs of an insect have claws for anchorage on two rough surfaces. for anchorage. For anchorage onto rough surfaces. Anchorage onto rough surfaces. For anchorage onto rough surfaces. 3. The legs of an insect have glandular pads. The legs of an insect have glandular pads. They have glandular pads. They have glandular pads. They have glandular pads which secretes an adhesive substance which secretes an adhesive substance. An adhesive substance that enables the insect to walk on smooth surfaces. That enables the insect to walk on smooth surfaces. Smoothy surfaces. That enables the insect to walk on smoothy surfaces. So those are important adaptations of the legs of an insect for walking. Jointed for flexibility. The claws for firm anchorage and gripping. You can substitute anchorage with the word gripping. For gripping onto rough surfaces. Then we have said the leg of the insect has glandular pads. The glandular pads secrete an adhesive. Adhesive is sticky. It is a sticky substance. Sticky substance. Adhesive, to adhere, is to firmly attach. It's an attaching material substance. So that is how locomotion is achieved in an insect using the legs for walking. The legs for walking. Then we also said some insects have wings so they can fly. So we can also look at flight in insects. How locomotion is achieved by flight. Flight in insects. Flight in insects. Flight in insects is only possible in those insects that possess wings. So we also need to know the most important features here when an insect is able to fly. So 1, the exoskeleton is important in providing surface for attachment of the flight muscles. Then, the wings of an insect also have muscles. We call them flighty muscles. Flight muscles. They are flight muscles. Okay? Then, the structure of the wings is also important to note. Structure of the wing. The structure of the wing. The wings of an insect are veined. When they spread out like this, right, they increase surface area for flight. Right? The structure of the wing is very important. Right? Spreads it out so it can easily float in space. So take note, exoskeleton for providing surface for attachment of the flight muscles. The flight muscles, like we're also seeing for their leg, they also occur in a pair, right? They are antagonistic. The flight muscles, we have the elevator muscle and the depressor muscle. So we have those two sets of muscles. So flight in insects involves use of wings and flight muscles. This one involves using the wings and flight muscles. Using the wings and flight muscles. Using the wings and flight muscles. The flight muscles work antagonistically. The flight muscles work antagonistically. They work antagonistically. They work antagonistically. Two types of flight muscles occur. 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 The two types of flight muscles are: one, direct flight muscles. Direct flight muscles. Direct flight muscles. Two, indirect flight muscles. Indirect flight muscles. Indirect flight muscles. Direct flight muscles and indirect flight muscles. What's the difference between direct flight muscles and indirect flight muscles? The main difference is the direct flight muscles are attached directly to the base of the wing. These ones, direct flight muscles are attached. These ones are attached. They are attached directly to the base of the wing. Attached directly to the base. To the base of the wing. To the base of the wing. The base of the wing. They are found in large insects. These ones are found in large insects. They are found in large insects. You can give an example of the dragonflies, the moth, for example, the dragonflies. The dragonflies, these are large insects, the moth, the butterflies, and the locusts. The butterflies and the locusts. The butterflies and locusts. Those ones have well-developed direct flight muscles. Which muscles we have said? They are attached directly to the base of the wing. Direct flight muscles are muscles attached directly to the base of the wing, and they are found in large insects. We have cited examples of the dragonflies, moth, butterfly, and the locusts. The indirect flight muscles. Indirect flight muscles, which are these ones. The indirect flight muscles are the ones which are attached to the roof. To the roof. Right? They are attached directly to the roof. The indirect flight muscles. Indirect flight muscles are attached. These ones are attached to the roof. To the roof or the tagam. 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 So let us look at action of direct muscles. 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 The action of direct muscles. How the direct muscles, the ones we said, the ones which are attached to the base of the wing. The action of the direct muscles, this one involves two movements. There are two movements, interesting movements. The upstroke and the downstroke. The upstroke and the downstroke. Upstroke and downstroke. Upstroke involves the lifting or the raising of the wing. Then the downstroke involves the lowering of the wing. So action of direct flight muscles, the ones we said that are attached to the base of the wing. So we are going to look at two movements, upstroke and the downstroke. You can take notes, upstroke, the upstroke movements. During upstroke, what happens? This is when the wings are moved upwards. This is when the wing is moved upwards. When the wing is moved upwards. So what happens to those two sets of muscles? The depressor and the elevator muscles, right? The elevator and depressor, depressor muscles. So during upstroke, the depressor muscle relaxes. During upstroke, the depressor muscle relaxes. It relaxes. Whenever we're talking about the muscles that appear in a pair, remember their activity and mode of action is antagonistic. So during upstroke, the depressor muscle relaxes. Elevator. The elevator, or call it the dorsal ventral muscle contracts, or dorsal ventral muscle. The dorsal ventral muscle contracts. It contracts. Please take notes of the most important changes. During upstroke, the depressor muscle relaxes. Elevator or dorsal ventral muscle relaxes. So what is the effect of that? The wing is elevated. The wing is raised. The wing is elevated. The wing is elevated or moved upwards. The wing is elevated or moved upwards. The wing is elevated or moved upwards. You can have an illustration of that. a drawing to illustrate that change. Now, those of you who have some textbooks with you, I encourage you to use your textbooks. You'll find there very good drawings of those attachment of muscles. So here you have the attachment of the two sets of muscles, the elevator and the depressor. So the position and attachment of the two muscles, the elevator and the depressor muscles, as illustrated and shown in the drawing. So we are saying during upstroke, the raising and the lifting of the wing, the depressor muscle relax, elevator muscle contract. Wing is raised, it is moved upwards, right? So position of those two muscles is very important. The attachment of the depressor muscle and the attachment of the elevator muscle, right? So those are the two direct flight muscles, the depressor muscle and the elevator muscles. Okay. Then during downstroke, that is one part. Downstroke, the lowering of the wing, downy stroke. What happens during downstroke? During downstroke, the depressor muscle contracts. Depressor muscle contracts. Depressor muscle contracts. Depressor muscle contracts. The depressor muscle contracts. Elevator muscle relax. Elevator muscle relax. The elevator muscle relax. The elevator muscle relax. The wing is depressed or moved downwards. Wing is depressed. The wing becomes depressed or moved downwards. Is moved downwards. The wing is depressed or moved downwards. Then the illustration, the changes are still about the position of the wings and the change on the muscle. So the roof or the tagam is moved upwards. The effect is the wing is lowered. So that change is very important. It's very, very important. The two muscles, elevator muscle relaxed, depressor muscle contracted, the tagam moved upwards, depressing the wings downwards. So there are two changes, upstroke and downstroke to achieve flight using the direct flight muscles. So because of time, I beg we stop here for today. Next time, we shall look at that will be on Wednesday, inshallah. We shall look at how the insect use the indirect flighty muscles. Today we have looked at how they use the direct flighty muscles. I wish you the best and I encourage you to observe SOPs.